3, 2, 1. Speak! Nice shirt.
In 1,000 years, I will not be here. And you will not be here. None of us will be here. In 1,000 years, robots. Yes, robots will populate our planet. It's not hard to understand it. If Darwin were still alive today, he would agree that robots are the unnatural progression. The inevitable conclusion, the final form, see, robots are perfect. They never make mistakes. Robots never fuck on the first date and then forget to text back. In fact, robots never fuck. In 1,000 years, love will not exist. And that will be a good thing. There will be no broken robot homes, no password-protected phones. Automatons do not have affairs. In fact, machines have no motivation to marry. Android angst and cyborg sorrow are out of the question. In 1,000 years, everything will be leaf green and mercurial silver, the colors of progress. Robo Sapiens, the new model with reduced consumption, increased production, and a 0.01% chance of malfunction. In 1,000 years, there will be no war. The words military, oppression, mass destruction, and genocide will be filed away in a hard drive entitled What Not to Do. Robots have no need for conflict. They understand they all have the same purpose, thinking not of themselves, but of the entire organism, every individual, a part of something bigger, a collective cause, but not for God. God was too much like a human. In 1,000 years, time will lose its currency. Death will become an irrelevant concept. The Grim Reaper will retire and buy a cottage in Arizona. No one will ever try to sell oblivion as heaven. No one will ever get sideswiped on their motorbike and die at 19 years old. These tin men have discovered that the absence of a heart is the only real secret to immortality. Potions and fountains and anti-aging creams lost their value long ago, becoming extinct along with the fools who believed that they would work. In 1,000 years, robots will look back and call us artificial intelligence. We were the ones hardwired for self-destruction. We were the ones who decided to cut open our own veins and extract the oil from within. We were the ones who figured out how to get to other planets before we figured out how to take care of our own. When robots take over the Earth, I won't be afraid. I won't be the hero of an action movie and fuck up all the evil robots. No. When robots finally replace the last human on this land, I will just be glad that in 1,000 years, our planet might finally be in safe hands. Thank you. When the revolution comes, the drums will play. The raindrops will scatter across the burning sky, but the acidity will only fuel the fire. Heads will roll, bells will toll, and death will abound. I have been studying revolutions. From Lenin to Louverture, I have deduced the pattern. The rings of Saturn are red from the light shed by Mars. The god of war is getting horny. But no one ever expects the Bastille storming to come without warning at 4 in the morning. See, that's the thing about revolutions. They have a way of sneaking up behind you with cheese wire and a desire to strangle everything you thought you knew. When the revolution comes, we will dance on the broken neck of your economy, burrow holes into the eye sockets of your industry, which we will use as planting pots for perennials, and millennials shall raise the hue and cry with generations X and Y and Z holding trial with the sea and the trees as jury. Gasoline garbage fires fueling our fury, sowing havoc as seeds, planting chaos as crops, as the beat of the snare syncopates with the chops of the guillotine, gasping for air as it drops. Those sitting at the top of their corporate towers will call it eco-terrorism. The people will call it righteous. They will call it restoration, liberation, Mother Nature, human nature, animal nature, good-natured people of Earth. Hear me now. The time for passive action has long passed. In fact, the catastrophic impact of apathetic factions demands our reaction. Your recycling doesn't cut it anymore. Salvation doesn't look like reform. We are past the point of no return. All that's left is to burn the brittle bones of old white dino CEOs and see if now they want to talk about fossil fuels. Because their extinction still won't make up for the Seychelles mud turtle, Yunnan lake newt, Falcon's wolf, Saudi gazelle, Guam flying fox, golden toad, Tolek wallaby, Caribbean monk, seal, aurochs, Japanese sea lion, Stellar sea crow, eastern hare wallaby, Las Vegas leopard frog, sea mink. I could keep going if I had time, but I don't. None of us do. I have been studying revolutions. And I understand now that revolutions are like forest fires, and I'll be damned if over 75,000 square kilometers of torched forest last year alone isn't our planet trying to tell us something. Let us blaze as bright as those trees, paint the sky with blood so that even those in the tallest towers can't pretend not to see us. They will insist that violence is not the answer, but when your questions go ignored for so long, you start to come up with answers of your own. This is our home. You have repossessed it, exploited it, left us a shell. Your system is the cancer. You've drained all the wells. You've poisoned the oceans. You've cut down the trees, imprisoned the people. You've killed all the bees. You think that you're safe. You can barely remember your last revolution, but I've been studying them. And I know that revolutions come in cycles, as does nature, and when those two forces align, the drums shall play. The raindrops will scatter across the burning sky, but the acidity will only fuel the fire. Heads will roll, bells will toll, and death will abound. And when the revolution comes, and then when the revolution is over, how will you be remembered? Thank you.